Okay, so first of all, I would like to say this will contain spoilers for Sirens by Braden Cawthon. If you are still interested in reading it and you don't want spoilers, click off and come back when you've read it, or something, I guess. If you don't want spoilers, I'm assuming you've clicked off by now. So, Sirens by Braden Cawthon is a book with potential. It's about a guy named Joel who goes to the city in search of his missing family, only to find that every night a deadly siren blares from sunset to sunrise for no apparent reason. Plain and simply, this is not a book that I would recommend to other people, but like I said earlier, I do still believe it has potential. That being said, there's a lot of things I hate about this book. I'm not going in any particular order, so let's get on to that part, I guess. So first of all, I absolutely hate Emily. I actually cheered for joy when she finally died, at least mentally, because I was reading this during class. But yeah, her character was annoying at best and obnoxious at worst. Now, kind of on the topic of Emily, I want to talk about Matthias. And his role in the story felt like he was trying to be two things at once: the villain and the leader. And while these two roles aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, I feel like it was executed very poorly. And going back to Emily, she believed he was bad from the very beginning, to the point where, as the reader, it felt like Cawthon was trying to tell me how I was supposed to think about Matthias. It is very clear he was supposed to be portrayed as a villain, but instead Emily's suspicions just kind of ruined the whole villain thing. Like they never really went anywhere, and even though we were told he was bad, it just kind of didn't really pay off the way it was expected to. Now, yes, in the end, Matthias did essentially send Joel to his death, as far as we are aware. But at the same time, I feel like this wasn't as bad as it was probably supposed to make him look. Now, I would also like to mention the relationship between Joel and Emily. Frankly, I hate it, and in a situation like this, being essentially the apocalypse and total strangers, the fact that they just immediately trust each other and act like they've known each other for years really bugs me. That being said, Joel himself is easily the best character in the book. He is the main character, and I think, kinda, you're the one he's the only character I actually liked. That being said, something I noticed is that he is a very passive character, and everything he does, except for going to the city in the first place, was because someone else told him to do something, and it just wasn't great. And this is a problem I noticed throughout the whole story, and with, like, a lot of other characters too. I just don't know their names, because I have a bad memory and I do not feel like going through the whole book again just to find a character name that really wasn't that important. Finally, I know, here's what I liked about the book. I know, all of that was stuff I hate about the book, but there is some good parts. So finally, here is what I liked about the book. The concept of a siren blaring through the night that slowly makes listeners go insane and lures them out in the night with their loved ones is a really interesting concept to me. It sparks the question, what caused the siren? What happens when someone goes outside in the night? How can it be stopped? But of these questions, we aren't really given a full answer to any of them. And the ones that we were given an answer to, that being what happens when someone goes out into the night, was kind of, like, incomplete, I guess, I would say. So, overall, Sirens by Braden Cawthon is not a good book that I would recommend as it stands right now. That being said, it does have some interesting concepts that I feel like could be explored further if Cawthon decided to write a sequel. Or potentially completely rewrite and republish this book. Like, it could be good. So, while Sirens might not be a great book, it's not awful either. I think it just had a poor execution that could easily be fixed with a rewrite or a sequel. So, overall, as it stands right now, Sirens gets 3 stars. But I hope one day I'll get to come back to it and give it more. So, thank you for listening to my rant of Sirens by Braden Cawthon. Bye, I guess.